everyone, so today's video is going to be on a basic first aid kit for guinea pigs. Now recently someone asked me if I could do a very basic and simple first aid kit for a beginner guinea pig owner, and I thought that was a really great idea. My first aid kit is very extensive and you can see videos on that. I would definitely suggest continuing to research first aid kits. A guinea pig first aid kit is one of those things that progresses as you progress in guinea pig owning, because you get to know your guinea pigs, you get to know what creams and different things you like to use, what you're comfortable in using, and eventually you'll find a lot of human products that you can use, and that's what my big first aid kit contains. But this person asked for a basic beginner's first aid kit, which I thought was a really great idea, and this is great for any new guinea pig owners. I definitely suggest putting this together before getting your guinea pigs. I know circumstances aren't always that easy. I know a lot of people rescue guinea pigs because of the circumstance they're in, and then are putting together a first aid kit as they are new guinea pig owners, and I definitely understand that. But if you have the opportunity, I definitely recommend getting these items beforehand, and then eventually you'll start building up more and more items the more comfortable you are and the more you understand your guinea pigs. So before we go on to the medical items, I would first of all suggest you make sure you've got a couple of grooming items. Grooming is extremely important in guinea pigs, especially if they're the longer haired breeds. You need to be grooming the shorter haired breeds at least once or twice a week, and the long haired breeds need grooming once a day. And it's really important to have the right grooming products, and I consider it part of their health. The first thing I would suggest having is a bristle brush like this one here. You can get them from any pet shop, you can get them online, you can get dog ones that are a little bit cheaper but exactly the same. They're really easy on the fur, easy to use and nice to brush with. I would also suggest getting a comb. More than likely you can get these in a set, so I would go for a set of combs and brushes, but having a comb like this is really handy in case of mites, lice, or if you want to treat them with treatment that needs to be combed in the fur. So these are really handy too. So I'm going to start off with a few kind of bits and bobs. These aren't medication or anything, but they're things I 100% consider having in your first aid kit. Of course, like I say, as you develop with your first aid kit, I've got things like a magnifying glass, an eye light, bandages, a cooling pack, a heating pack, things like that. But to start off, I would suggest having measuring spoons. One like this with a selection of spoons on it is fantastic. This is great for measuring medication or for measuring up something that they need to eat, like critical care pellets or something like that. So they're fantastic. I'd highly suggest having different ones to the ones you feed their pellets with. So have a scoop, a measuring scoop for your pellets, but have smaller ones like these just for your first aid kit. You then 100% need a couple of syringes. I would suggest a larger one like this for thicker things, and a smaller one for either water or liquid medication. I would also just suggest having some tweezers. These are fantastic if your guinea pig has some sort of irritation that's caused by hay poke in particular, and the hay is really sticking out so much that it needs to be removed. This is something I'd be careful with, but I would suggest having, and you know, there's lots of other things you can use tweezers for, even if it's just moving one thing to somewhere else, that kind of thing. But I definitely suggest having some. You can see these are just random ones that were lying around the house. They're not a particular type of tweezer, they're just random ones. I would then suggest having a spoon, and a knife's always handy too, but a spoon 100% for mixing medication, for mixing critical care, and for hand feeding it to them. The first edible item I would 100% suggest having in your guinea pig first aid kit. If you haven't got this in your first aid kit, then I would suggest going online right now and purchasing it. It's not cheap, but it's in my opinion, the best product out there to help a poorly guinea pig. There are occasions when my guinea pigs have been really not well, and just giving them some of this has just brought them back. And obviously your first thing to do would be to take them to the vet, but when you can't, something like this is definitely needed. It's kind of like a pick-me-up. The ingredients, I'm not going to read them to you, but I'll screenshot a picture of the ingredients so you can read them if you need to, but it just consists of really nice healthy things, and it's a fantastic pick-me-up. It's got a lot of fibre and things like that, which is perfect, and I've used this time and time again, and so have so many other people who own small animals. As you can see, it can be given to a selection of animals. It's just a fantastic product, and like I say, it's not cheap. It's something I would not have first aid kit, not have this, because it's just so important and so fantastic. It's such a great product that my vet recommends me using it, and has actually recommended I use it daily with Pippin, who currently is suffering from terminal cancer, but it's such a pick-me-up that she has suggested I use this on a daily basis. That is how good and important this product is. I would personally then suggest having a small little sachet of baby food, ready to eat baby food. This is a bit like the critical care. It's nowhere near as good, don't replace it with critical care, but this is something that I've used time and time again as well with animals that are either dehydrated. I'll obviously syringe feed them water, but if they're not taking in water themselves or won't eat pellets, this is great because it not only keeps them hydrated because it's a liquid type formula, but it's also giving them a bit of nutrition, a bit of flavour, and eventually is helping them to eat. That's what I've found anyway, and I really like to have something like this in my first aid kit. Just make sure that the flavours are flavours that your guinea pigs can have, such as fruit, veg, things like that. Make sure it's 100% natural, there's nothing added to it. This is just completely made of peach, mango and banana, so it's the kind of thing you want, and it's a great cheap product to add to your first aid kit that can help a guinea pig. This is something else I'm giving Pippin at the moment, but I leave it in his cage for him to eat himself independently because he enjoys it and it helps him along the way too. The next product I would suggest having, especially as it's coming up to the spring and summertime, is a fly strike protector. I've used this Johnson's one for the past few years. I don't think I've ever used another one. There are a lot of different brands out there and they're all pretty good, but I've always used Johnson's and really like it. It's important to keep them protected from fly strike, especially with the summer coming up, so I would suggest having one of these handy. They do have around 2 to 3 year date on them, so they're not going to run out anytime soon, and it's something you want to be using quite consistently. You then need some sort of cream or antibacterial stuff that you can use on small scrapes and cuts. Guinea pigs can be fairly boisterous, so from time to time they'll get the odd scuff and you need something to treat it and keep it nice and clean. There are a lot of creams out there that are very good. Gorgeous Guineas do a selection of really nice stuff, and there are other brands, Johnson's and so on, that do creams specifically for guinea pigs for when they have little scuffs. I've got a few of those, but my personal favourite is actually this baby cream. It's called Pseudo Creme. I'm not sure whether it's just a UK product or not, but it's something I've used for must be about 10 years now, since I had my rabbit, or even before that. It's something the family have used for a long time on pets. It's completely safe for pets. The website even have an article about using it with pets, and it's very highly suggested to be used with scuffs and things on pets. It's a very good product and it cleans up wounds really nicely. Obviously anything other than a small scratch will need to be seen by a vet, but for a scratch or scrape this is perfect and really does clean them and clear them up quite quickly. My last kind of medical product is this d.i.y gel. Now there'll be different brands that do similar kind of products. I've always used this one, it's fantastic. Hay pokes are very, very common in guinea pigs, and you've got to be very careful. The eye can become infected very quickly. You can even have your guinea pigs lose their sight because of a simple hay poke, so you want to be treating that immediately. And again, this is something my vet suggests me having, and this stuff's fantastic. It's saved Duffy's sight on several occasions. She's very prone to hay pokes. It's just a gel and you put it in their eye if you see that it's clouded over or sore, and it really does soothe the eye. The gel goes right over the eye and it soothes it, cools it, and then you'll see within hours that the eye has gone back to normal. It's really great stuff. I really recommend this. Again, make sure you go to the vets with anything like this, but this stuff is fantastic. And my last product is probably one of my most important things. I talk about this so often because this is the first sign of illness in guinea pigs, and it's weight loss. You definitely need a set of scales. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be one of those £5 scales that you buy from Sainsbury's. You need one. You need to be weighing them on a weekly basis, keeping track of it. The minute your guinea pigs start losing weight, there's something wrong, and you would have spotted it quite immediately. So something like this is super important, and I definitely recommend you having one. As well as the items that I've already mentioned, I would highly suggest you have a travel cage. If, like I've said, you are well ahead with planning, then you should already have one to go and pick your guinea pigs up in. But a travel cage with a spare water bottle, a spare bowl or a couple of spare bowls, a spare little hidey house ready in it with a blanket and a towel is perfect, and that's something you'll find yourself using quite often, even just for vet checkups. So I've just got a really cheap shop cage. Shop cages are awful to permanently house your guinea pigs in, but are fantastic as travel cages. I just got a really cheap little one for about £10 off eBay, and I use it all the time. A travel cage also works really well as a little hospital cage if you need to isolate any of your guinea pigs. So there we go, there's a basic first aid kit for guinea pigs. I know I've talked quite a lot, but I think it's quite an important topic to chat about rather than just doing it all quick, otherwise you won't know what the items are for. Now, like I say, the more you develop with knowing about your pets, the more your first aid kit will develop. You'll have things like, if you're confident enough, you'll have nail cutters, you'll have shampoos and grooming sprays, you'll have other treatments that are technically for humans but work on guinea pigs. You'll have an array of different things that you can use and will know and be confident in using. But I would start off with this. If you've had pets in the past and you can use things like nail trimmers and things, then I'd suggest doing that. But you don't necessarily need them straight away. And with things like shampoos, yes, some male guinea pigs need to be bathed maybe once a year or so, but it's not a necessity. I just get that when you feel that you need it. Small animal wipes are quite good, but I don't personally use them anymore, but they can be quite good. But it will build up, and if you're interested in seeing my extensive first aid kit video, then I'll link it down below and you can follow that link and see that. I have a few of them now because I've been doing this video at least once a year since I started YouTube. But I hope this has helped those of you out who are new guinea pig owners or who are wondering how to set up a basic first aid kit to start you off. And if it has helped you out or you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Sorry again for the rambliness, but I will see you soon. Bye everyone.